Guys, we have game 8 today. It's always the hardest one. iG.V going up against Newbee. Newbee one game up after some devastating Sven Magnus combo play. Are going to be looking for the win in the last group stage match of DPL. If I'm reading the schedule correctly, which I maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But it doesn't seem like I am. I'm Mike Loris, gonna be your caster, and I hope you guys have been enjoying today's DPL casts. And hopefully this one is going to be interesting and not a farm fest or a 20-minute slaughter. Because those are, I mean, I guess the 20-minute slaughters are kind of interesting to watch, but the farm fests really aren't. Well, we have Centaur War Runner, we have the Warlock. iG.V, of course, going to first pick the Monkey King. Interesting to see Newbee prioritize these two heroes over an Earth Spirit. I do feel like that hero is probably right up there along with Monkey King as far as levels of impact you could have in the game. Like, there aren't really that many roamer support heroes. Monkey King is definitely on top, at least nowadays. Earth Spirit is like a very, very close second, but opting instead for a Warlock, who is not particularly great versus a Monkey King, it can definitely get the job done. Centaur first pick, I think, is reasonable, just solidifying the off-lane selection, especially since Abaddon and Magnus are already banned out. Just having your off-lane and having it be someone as good as Centaur, certainly very useful for Newbee to secure early. But iG.V, going to take a Monkey King, going to take a Crystal Maiden, pretty much the IG proper opening, who do this all the time for Baboka and Q. It's a strong opening, what can I say? I mean, Monkey King doesn't really need all that much mana, but you will have the kind of roaming tempo keeper of the Monkey King as well as that Crystal Maiden. Probably going to start things off in the jungle, and odds are is going to be doing so without running into any sort of interruptions. I don't think I've seen yet a Crystal Maiden running into several heroes while she's trying to jungle. You would think it'll be something that's pretty easy to do, but I think like the only reason you don't see that is because it requires a full hero to stop Crystal Maiden, and even then it's just slowing her down, not stopping her, whereas that full hero, whether it's an Earth Spirit or a Ricky, is usually not getting a lot in that downtime. So yeah, Crystal Maiden usually gonna get a free roll as far as the levels 1 through 4 levels are concerned. And of course, busting out of the woods, 2 points aura, 1 in the other spells, and do a hell of a lot of damage there. Newbee are looking at a start with a lot of team fight, though. I mean, Warlock Babysit is one of the strongest. I think it's actually the strongest in the game. So yeah, pick your carry, and you'll know that they are going to have most likely a pretty good time, especially since most of the powerhouse off-lane heroes are. Newbee really have the luxury of choice right now. They will have to worry about a Monkey King roaming. It's still not too late to grab that Earth Spirit if they do want that. Turns out picking up an Earth Spirit is a pretty good idea. Yeah, so now they're going to have equal power around the map compared to iG.Vitality, so they're not going to let iG.V get away with that one for free. And because the Warlock is so good at babysitting, you don't need 2 heroes. With the CM, it's unlikely that iG.V are going to run an offensive tri-lane, so you're unlikely to have your safe lane pressured substantially. It's honestly a pretty no-brainer pick for Newbee here. Again, they can run this with a Slark. They can pick a Sven again if they want to. It's probably not going to, but PA, Anti-Mage, Ursa, Troll, you can do whatever you want with this support setup for Newbee. I think this is definitely one of the most balanced support setups that you can pick up. Usually you're not going to be able to, but I mean, iG.Vs are pretty strong as well, but it's a little bit more hands-off. Like, the pressure going towards Centaur is not nearly going to be as high coming out from Crystal Maiden. So the Centaur, especially since he's not going up against a Juggernaut that's banned out, should be actually able to stick around in lane for at least some duration. The safe laners actually took a lot of hate here. Venge once again going to be banned out. Lifestealer first phase. Jugweaver, Terrorblade. There are always safe lane options. Hopefully see something a little bit weird here. Newbee, they already have that initiation, so they just need the ability to go in and get kills. Ursa looking pretty powerful in that regard. Just able to get in and do a hell of a lot of damage, or just get a kill in the duration of that initiation, which is, from Warlock and Centaur War Runner, not all that long. doesn't mind going up against the Slark either. I mean, this is going to be a hero that Newbee may struggle to deal with to some extent, but they do have, in theory, enough in the way of crowd control to deal with a Slark. Especially if they pick up someone like an OD for their mid lane. That probably is going to be one of the safer ways to go. It is a difficult hero to jump on as the Monkey King. Usually has, across the boards, I think like the worst matchup that OD has, like 50-50 matchup. There are really not that many bad matchups for OD. And that Imprison, really good up against Slark and Monkey King. So I would like to see that from Newbee, although maybe would like to wait and pick up their safe laner first. Again, Ursa looking pretty attractive here now up against the Slark, who is probably going to be what Newbee will towards. If they want to play late game, you could always go Spectre. I don't know why that didn't make any noise. Usually there's a giant Shadow Fiend, but apparently they decided not to play that voice clip. Thank you, Valve. Well, Shadow Fiend the pick for Newbee. This is again a hero that, unlike OD, is a little bit more gankable from the Monkey King. Doesn't offer that that defensive tool, but does offer a lot of damage towards the towers, which OD really lacks. Shadow Fiend's matchup versus mid laners are usually going to be pretty even as well. Like versus two heroes like Monkey King +1, things get pretty bad, but with an Earth Spirit there, the lane should be equalized quite substantially. He has a lot of frontline as well. Centaur, Earth Spirit, Warlock, Golem. Shadow Fiend is going to be hard to get on top of if you're iG.V. But if you do, Slark, Monkey King, now a Lina pickup, still in the pool. Yeah, Lina's still here. They do have enough burst damage to kill off an SF. iG.V looking at offlane now. I feel like there aren't really that many offlane heroes. Puck is something that Newbee can deal with pretty well. Earthshaker is not bad. They don't really have that much luxury in swapping up their lanes. We saw Broodmother earlier today. I don't think that's really possible here. Sand King will be banned out. So Clockwork? Clockwork is something that iG.V can pick up. Is fairly strong with what they have. Omni-Knight is also not the worst pick in the world for them. A Slark with Omni-Knight backup is really, really hard to deal with. Plus you get the mana. I think Omni-Knight and Shaker are probably two of the more likely heroes here for iG.V. Ooh, a Tidehunter. Haven't seen that guy in a while. Double Fish on the iG.Vitality side is a hero that, well, perhaps is a little bit clunkier in the initiation department compared to a Clockwork, but definitely provides a little bit more of a AoE teamfight ability. You will most of the time get that Ravage off, and Newbee, wow, Timbersaw. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of this. I mean, I'm okay with the Tidehunter. I think, first of all, let's take care of iG.Vitality. They just needed some sort of offlane hero. Warlock poking at a Tidehunter is, whatever. Tidehunter could usually shrug that off. Earth Spirit rolling in towards a Tide usually isn't that strong either. Kraken Shell usually keeps you pretty safe. And if you anchor smash the Earth... Shit. I didn't drop a whole bunch of things. That wasn't me. If you just anchor smash the Earth Spirit, his already low right-click damage is even lower, and with the Kraken Shell, you usually take just no damage. So, a very difficult hero for most of Newbee's heroes to deal with. Timbersaw definitely is a hero that deals with Tidehunter quite well. But this is going to be Newbee basing their entire draft off of this Shadow Fiend for scaling damage, which isn't really a bad thing necessarily. But they are going to have to go really, really hard in the paint in this mid-game. Timbersaw is a great matchup versus Tidehunter. I'm concerned what these lanes are going to look like for Newbee, though. I mean, Timbersaw was supposed to be that safe lane hero. Can still do that versus the Tidehunter. Warlock going to help him out, perhaps? Newbee are going to have to protect the Shadow Fiend, and I think if this Warlock was like a vengeful spirit. If he was a vengeful spirit, I would be a little bit more of a fan of it. Like, Warlock, his ability to save is kind of limited. A slow heal against a Slark and a Lina, that's just not going to cut it. A quick swap out, now that definitely will save the Shadow Fiend. But Newbee are going to have to play a very heavy positioning game for SC. His front line, again, is huge, but Slark is pretty well known to bypass front lines. Oh, no. No, no, no. Please, frames. Alright, we're good, we're good. No panic. So yeah, the Shadow Fiend may have a tough time just staying alive in these engagements. I don't know why this Monkey King does not have a name. There we go. It's Dogfights, the banana. Paparazzi is going to be playing the Slark Super on the Crystal Maiden up towards top lane. iG.Vitality is on the Tidehunter. We got Cicada playing the Lina over on the other end. U9 is on the Timbersaw. Got Faith playing the Warlock. Kaka's playing the Earth Spirit. SC gets a free soul from a ward on Shadow Fiend. It's not bad. And that leaves KP on the Centaur War Runner. It is SC playing Shadow Fiend, so he's an absolute monster in that. But again, his position in game is going to be difficult. We'll see what these lanes are going to look like for Newbee. They do want to have Timbersaw going up against Tide, and it looks like, without seeing all that much, they have a pretty good read on what these lanes in iG.V are going to look like. Centaur on bottom. Should be able to shrug off most of this harassment damage. Paparazzi, Slark. I mean, the Timbersaw doesn't have a terrible matchup versus Slark either. But a full tri-lane with the Centaur, you're guaranteeing his farm, which means you're guaranteeing his Blink Dagger, which means that he will have a powerful mid-game. And top lane doesn't really need that help either for a Newbee. Again, like the Centaur and Timbersaw, they both don't really need that much help. This is a very, very favored matchup for Timbersaw. Anchor Smash is powerful, but the reactive armor on Timbersaw usually trumps that a little bit. And over towards the mid lane, Cicada going up against SC. Should be a Lina favorite matchup for a little bit, but will end up balancing out in the end. Paparazzi gonna leave and switcheroo with iG.Vitality. Again, this is a lane that U9 can deal with. Bottom line is that KP is going to be getting a lot of farm. Or should be getting a lot of farm. And we'll see. Super most likely just chill out. Dogfight's going to go up towards top lane as well. Stomp on iG.Vitality. Anchor Smash is there, but this damage is pretty consistent. And, you know, right now it's a lot of right-click damage, but once these levels come up, then it's going to be a lot of double edge damage. And I'll tell you one thing, Anchor Smash doesn't do too much against double edge. We'll see what this Earth Spirit's able to accomplish as well. He's in the area, will miss his first roll. Even if he hit it, I'm not really sure if it would do all that much damage, honestly. Man, safe lane, farming Centaur. Obviously with a little bit of switch up because of the Timbersaw U9 situation. They really want this Timber up against this Tide, though. It's going to cost them a lot in the way of TP. I mean, Earth Spirit doesn't have to. Centaur kind of does. Warlock, same thing if they really want to have him there. I guess they don't have to teleport the Warlock. They can, but again, these heroes don't need that much help. Centaur offlane is pretty normal nowadays. So I guess if they just keep swapping these lanes, iG.V, they have to TP around, and Newbee don't. Small incremental edge every single time a TP is expend. It's not huge. It's something. Mid lanes, Kaka. He does have an Orb of Venom, and he is looking at Cicada. SC, 2 points in the raises. 1 to land, 2nd to land, 3rd to land. Boom! First blood. That is absolutely textbook Earth Spirit and Shadow Fiend play. Invis Rune, I don't even think if it was completely necessary, but knew for sure that the Lina was working blind. Land 3 raises, you're going to get a kill. So iG.V, this Crystal Maiden is working with no resistance so far. Pretty standard Crystal Maiden stuff. Hero on the map is certainly costing them. iG.Vitality is getting bullied back by U9. Top lane, same thing. KP's doing a really good job at managing the Slark up towards top. It's not going to stop the Slark, that's just not how this lane works, but whoa, okay, they're going to go for Cicada again. Okay, well. SC grabs another one with the help of that Earth Spirit. Again, textbook play. The Lina is supposed to get some help at some point from the Crystal Maiden. The extra mana aura, certainly very nice, but doesn't really help you survive once the shit hits the fan. In July, even getting chased out of lane by U9. Only 1 point Whirling Death. Not a big deal, man. Does a lot of damage versus these strength heroes. And Whirling Death level 1 up against strength heroes is actually crazy. This early stage going really well for Newbee so far. The Earth Spirit still sticking around bottom now. No silence, don't really need it up against Tidehunter. But wherever he goes, it'll be hard for Vitality to match it. Monkey King so far hasn't done a lot, but Cicada, yeah, jump by SC, gets rooted down. Still one more raise going to drive Cicada all the way back. SC, Dragon Slave, not quite in range. Should have a little bit of juice here from the Warlock. Yep. We'll get right back to it. He also had an Arcane Rune that entire time, so, you know, balanced raising. Dogfight so far, just babysitting top lane as best he can. You need to do that. Help get this Slark off to a good start. Keeping the Centaur kind of underfarmed, but not really. He has Iron Talon. It's a Centaur with return. He could very easily jungle. He has been doing that for a little while now. Super and Dogfights in the area. Can steal this. Got him. They can't really do too much after that, though. This Monkey King so far has done very little. Supposed to be helping out this Lina with the Shadow Fiend CM as well. So far, is just try to deal with the Centaur. Jump in. KP gonna almost land the Stomp, but gets frozen mid-cast. And will get picked off. That is not a play I was expecting, but sure, whatever works. Centaur down either way. It's a pretty nice kill to have from a couple supports. Roll in, though. Kaka has another rock to kick. There's a couple right clicks, raise, and dead. Super getting punished for his being in the Shadow Fiend's area. You gotta stay in your play zone. Know your bounds. So this is where the lane gets really dangerous for iG.Vitality once the Chakram comes up. There's the Chakram, chains Whirling Death. Jeez, that's a lot of damage. You'll salve up and actually get a lot of regen off of that. A full regen worth of salve. Full salve worth of regen if you English properly. But that barely costed U9 anything. Like, he has Arcane Boots. He's only going to get stronger, and Tide doesn't really build up any defenses to this. Like, Arcane Boots doesn't help him at all. So U9 will have the run of his lane. Or he'll teleport out and look to run over someone else's lane. Oh, they're going to teleport over towards mid, try to save the Shadow Fiend. Laguna Blade is there, though. Not like Faith could have really helped him with that Shadow Word. Too slow to help. They're going to swap up. U9 going top lane, get KP towards that Blink Dagger. And U9 with the Chakram now is really difficult to handle. His damage output and the fact that he has 2 points in that reactive. Paparazzi can't do too much against this. Although he can kill off Kaka, who is spotted. Needs to roll out. Pounce. Landed, but he still rolled out. Because Earth Spirit. KP now, gonna get hit with the big stick. Stomp's gonna land onto 2 heroes, but there's no Stampede. There's double damage on Dogfights. Sooner or later, he's gonna jump back up and get some vision. Or if he even needs to. KP, 1 shot and an anchor. KP down. They just really want to get the Centaur Warrunner up to a point where he's able to initiate fights. The longer that takes, the more stress is gonna be put onto this SF. In July, he's going to get a free reign over his own lane. I mean, Timbersaw is going to move in and pressure the Slark a bit. They have killed off SC as well. having a Centaur with a struggle of a game is not what Newbee want right now. They want the Centaur and the Timbersaw to have some semblance of farm, but only level 4 Centaur War Runner at this stage compared to the level 7 Timbersaw. Less than ideal. U9 has a lot of backup here. Rock, only level 3 on the Warlock. Nowhere near completion here. I don't know if they can do anything versus U9 though. He has a lot of healing. And he has a lot of damage output as well. This is 3 versus 2 heroes though. Down towards the bottom lane. KP facing something similar. Ravage, not up yet. Despite iG.July being level 7. I think you should get it at level 8. It's not like you lack the mana for it. There it is. So Ravage on a KP will let them get in a little bit faster. Boundless Strike is level 3 as well, so it's doing a lot. And this is kind of awkward from Newbee. Never mind, they have the Shadow Fiend here. They're going to very quickly grab Super and probably have to let Paparazzi go. I was going to say, they don't have any tower damage with the Timbersaw. He can eat tower shots all day long, but he will never. Towards bottom lane now, Faith. Well, they already lost KP. My bad, guys. And what? Cicada's going to kill off Kaka top. Arrived in and looking at a little bit more, although we'll run into a Chakram. Reactive armor will be stacked up pretty heavily here, but the magic damage is huge. From the Lina, CM Nova also doing extraordinary amount of damage. Why are people dying all over the... God damn it. 8th game of the night, guys. I'm going to play that card. I will. Suddenly, all across the map, iG.V just claiming kills. And I miss all of them. Fantastic. Cicada getting in there with that Laguna Blade. Keeping the Shadow Fiend alive is the necessity that Newbee need. But losing your Timber, losing your Centaur. For the 3rd time now, KP is struggling. He has a lot of return. He's not going for a blink. He's going to get a little bit of bulk. Cicada wants in on this Earth Spirit. Jukes around the boulder. And now here comes a Stampede. Going to get KP into a position where he can stomp only onto the Tide Hunter. Lets the Shadow Fiend double, triple raise actually. And there's no Laguna Blade here on the Lina, but still a Haste Rune. Poking and prodding at KP, no mana to land a finishing blow. Although now finally does. A little bit late for that. So Newbee, they do lose their Earth Spirit in the end, but gain a Tide Hunter, well worth it. SC is getting to a point, or is actually already at a point, where he's comfortable just going into the towers. The only problem is no one else on his team is really quite there yet. Timbersaw is getting there. KP's very, very slowly getting there. Got Earth Spirit and Faith. Faith doesn't have that level 6 yet, so Warlock, not exactly a powerhouse at this stage. And, well, Kaka running into a Slark, who has a Shadow Blade. Not what you want to see, although he will set up for maybe a kill on Super. Chain misses, that probably works to U9's benefit. Lets him land the Chakram combo and dead CM. But Faith, with the help of SC, gonna try to drive away Paparazzi. Dogfights arrives. Monkey King really doesn't want to mess with the Timbersaw, though. Tree Hop is pretty bad here. You jump up and most likely you'll be cut down. That's a tower. Over towards the mid lane, Cicada. Only doing a little bit of damage versus this structure. Does have the LSA damage, so plowing through creep waves, very easy for the Lina. Has iG.July coming in as well. KP might be taking a Ravage right about now. Stampede out, no, back in. Ravage onto 2 now, setting up for an LSA. They want the Centaur, they get the Centaur. Requiem in the back is going to do a bit. The Shadow Fiend is pretty well protected. The Timbersaw, they will try to go for the Earth Spirit. They get him, but Dogfight's not looking too healthy. Even though he lays down the command, will still go down. There goes the circle. And SC, he's going to do a lot of damage versus Lilina. He will get the kill in the end, and Paparazzi not looking too healthy either. It's an ultra kill for SC, and U9 claims the 5th. 11-11, and Newbee keep their Shadow Fiend in the back. No one going towards him. All the tanky heroes distracting away exactly according to plan. Is going to cost them a lot. I mean, Shadow Fiend does go down there. Lost the Centaur for the 4th time now. But to get Shadow Fiend that much gold in total, probably well worth it. U9 survives, so definitely well worth it. Get a full team wipe on iG.V. Can't say no to that. Paparazzi. He is very powerful with the Shadow Blade, but not really versus these tanky heroes. Great versus the Earth and the Warlock. Everyone else, not really as much so. Oh no, lag. Please. Well, we had a good run, guys. No, we're good, we're good. U9 is really difficult to deal with at this stage, especially if he has his armor stacks up. Level 7 on the Earth Spirit, level 6 on the Warlock, finally has that crucial level. And SC, Dragonlance, Shadow Blade, soon. Ready to go on some assassination missions. Vitality have a lot of heroes that are easy to assassinate. Lina, CM, Monkey King. If they're spotted, they're gonna die really quick. Tide and Slark a little bit tougher, but still doable as long as SC has an ally with him. Yeah, I mean, SF on the top of the net worth chart is exactly what Newbee need right now. And iG.V need to find a way to start killing him off. Keep those souls down, keep that farm limited. Yeah, Lina, joined by any other one hero, I think should be enough to take down this SF. He is fairly bulky, but Lina does a hell of a lot of damage. Like Lina Monkey King, Lina CM, they can definitely do it. Speaking of, Monkey King scouting, but won't find anyone of relevance. He can actually go for Faith. Faith gonna run the other direction, and now with the beatdown, Faith is going to give him some stacks and then, well, leave. Roll through from Kaka. He's gonna end up deforesting the Monkey King. Now here comes a Timbersaw. There goes Dogfights in July. He's gonna put up a barrier that will do nothing against the right clicks of SC. That's gonna be a Newbee. Have so many ways of getting on top of that Monkey King. The Warlock, clear out trees like nobody's business. Timbersaw, Earth Spirit, both all-stars at doing that as well. And SC now back where he wants to be, right in front of an enemy tower, with the Golem driving everyone else away, killing off the creep wave with the flaming fists, I think? Oh baby. And Immolation. Immolation, comma permanent. Strike is gonna land onto 2, but this is an U9 Timbersaw with Soul Booster and a Cloak. You need a little bit more than a Boundless Strike to kill him off. They'll stampede away just for safety. And now SC's got a Shadow Blade, completed U9. Should have a Bloodstone pretty quickly. Unless he gets jumped here, he only has 50 gold. Who cares? He's gonna kill off the dragons, get the Soul Ring, and nice kick, nice silence, but still U9 is kind of in no man's land here. They will kill off the Timbersaw. It does take everyone, but hey, it kills a kill. SC, Paparazzi, kind of dancing each other in Invis. The tower will be slowly but surely destroyed by Vitality here. Blink Dagger on Centaur, now up. No Stampede though, so you can get in, but once you're in, you know you're going into a Ravage, which is actually Blink Ravage at this point, not Mechanism from the Tide. Not Pipe even. The Pipe is actually not incredible up against Newbee, it's worth getting. But opting for that Blink is a little bit interesting. Wants to get on top of SC as a top priority, who, by the way, is going to slip up to the north. There's no detection here. Not even on the Monkey King. So we'll get out of there. I mean, Mechanism is definitely high value up against Newbee, but with SC being the centerpiece of Newbee's draft, if you Ravage him, or if you are unable to Ravage him, then your fight is just going to kind of fall apart. Smoke in. Found a monkey. That is a dead monkey if I ever did see one. SC is going to sneak in the last hit there. That was pretty much all Kaka and KP though. But that's ideal, right? Do all the work with your other heroes, get Shadow Fiend the kill. They can actually look towards Roche pretty soon. They're not the best Roche clearing team, but SC with the amount of farm he has can put Roche down pretty quickly. Assuming they have tabs on the Tide Hunter, kill him off first. Just farm up, SC. Just farm up. See the Dire scanning the Roche. They're hanging around, but they themselves can't kill it easily at all. Lina needs like a damage item if they're going to kill off Roche. Shadow Blade is not that item. Slark is kind of trash at killing off Roshan. Timber has a Bloodstone. Lina has a Bloodstone. What if you get the stat reduction in this game? It's level 25. Usually the stat reduction does a lot of damage versus strength heroes, but yeah, not really sure if this is necessarily worth it to go up against iG.Vitality. Like Lina and Slark, if they were strength heroes, then it would probably be worth it, but they're not, obviously. SC has an Invis rune plus a Shadow Blade. Both teams are dancing around this Roche pit. This is where Ravage gets a lot more potent. Pipe now completed. And iG.V want to make a play. Smoke time. SC is going to show himself off. He has a little bit of help around the corner. Not sure if this is going to be enough help, though. He will back off to the south. Paparazzi hot on his tail. Invis is there. He's going to pop the Requiem. No, Boundless Strike is going to cancel, and he's going to die. Paparazzi uses BKB for that one. A little bit expensive. That's 10 seconds. Down the tubes, but for an SF kill in this context with this draft, totally worth it. You still have the Ravage just in case Newbee decide to get cute and make a play here. And Newbee should just be looking to split push. Now again, iG.V don't really kill structures very easily. But with no resistance, it's not really that hard. Bottom lane farm for Centaur, some top lane farm for Timber. A little bit of pressure towards the tier 2s, or I guess bottom lane tier 1 still up. But that is a dream find there for iG.V. Keeping the Shadow Fiend down is all really the only thing that they should have to do right now. Like, they could even absorb a full 5-man Warlock Golem if it means they pick off SC beforehand. Paparazzi, speaking of Warlock, he is going to get jumped. Gush and dead. He wanted to cast Bonds and Golem there, but just not going to happen. Paparazzi now jump by SC. Both raises kind of go off the mark. Stampede is in. Stomp onto the Tidehunter. They're all grouping up for the Ravage. He's going to wait for it for a long time. He's silenced and he can't cracking it off. They will drop the Wukong's command. Kind of in a rough spot right now. SC is going to unleash the ultimate. Not do a hell of a lot with it, though. U9 still being chased down by Paparazzi with the BKB. 9 seconds. Good enough to get the kill. And iG.V only lose the CM. In July still not with that Ravage. They did a pretty good job, Newbee, at just firing and forgetting in July. Just throw a stun at him, throw a silence at him. Again, Earth Spirits disables. Really potent, but they don't do a lot of damage. So in July is just not able to cast, just kind of just sitting there. That's fine though. I mean, the iG.Vitality definitely didn't need it. Paparazzi did a hell of a lot there. The threat of Ravage is sometimes just as dangerous as the Ravage itself. We'll juice up in the shrine, smoke up to return back in. Paparazzi. A lot of heroes. Kick is off the mark. Blink, Ravage, onto 3 heroes. These two are grouped up, and these 2 supports are as good as dead. Double kill, both for the Slark. iG.V are just all over Newbee, not giving them the time of day. Can they go for Roche off of this? It's kind of difficult to kill off Roche still. Didn't really get any easier. This is a low damage build for the Slark. Zakata Shadow Blade. We'll try for it. Blink, Hoof Stomp, Stampede to escape. A Chakram. KP. A little bit off the mark. He definitely misjudged how fast iG.V were able to do that. Paparazzi still going in. Sentry. Well, actually, 2 sentries. All over the place, so Paparazzi can't get in. But hey, it's an easy Roche for the Slark. Now has a huge pickup in the Silver Edge. So yeah, rip Shadow Fiend, rip Timbersaw's reactive armor. Silver Edge is actually huge up against Newbee if you're able to land that first hit. If you landed against the Timbersaw, he is so screwed. Like he has a lot of health, but he has very little armor without reactive.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
iG.V, still no Ravage. We'll take a pretty free objective in the tier 1. Going for tier 2s without Ravage, that's a little bit bold. Kind of asking for trouble. Unless they get a pick off beforehand. I mean, Slark's cutting the wave. In July, has a pipe, so he's feeling pretty confident just to eat tower shots. They're going to go for it. Newbee are pushing bottom in the meantime. As farmed as the Shadow Fiend is, he cannot outrace the entirety of iG.V, especially since he has to work through fortification. iG.V can take this tower, push in towards the high ground. Not to take it, just to drive the enemies back to their base. Or teleport to the shrine and look for a free pick. They will see a Timber Saw, and he's broken. No reactive armor. How much damage can Paparazzi do? Not much. His allies are a little bit too far away, although the Tidehunter is coming in hot. They will have to Ravage. Does he even have it? No, they use Boundless Strike. Dogfights arrived out of nowhere, and now Timber Saw is in a lot of trouble. Laguna Blade, but still denied. I don't know, but sure. That's still going to be Timber Saw off the map for a little while. Bloodstone charge is reduced. Laguna Blade's not really a long cooldown anyway, so it's not a terribly huge deal for the Lina. She will find Kaka, reveal herself, and then run away. Ska has Invis with Shadow Blade. Still they have a Ravage. Bottom lane momentum. It's looking really good for iG.V. And Newbee don't really have, again, any sort of sustained damage output outside this SF, especially the Timber Saws constantly running into these BKBs popped on Paparazzi. Giving chase to KP, needs this pounce to land if he's going to get the kill. Oh, slightly off the mark. It's like 50 range away, something stupid like that, although he's still not done yet. SC, ooh, he's prepping the Requiem, decided against. And it is going to cost him yet another BKB charge. He's kind of burning through these things like nobody's business. Only 7 seconds left, but you know what? He forces out a Stampede, forces out a BKB. That is actually a barrier on the Centaur, never mind, but he forces out the Stampede and he gets the tier 2 for the team in the meantime. Or the team gets a tier 2 with space created. It's not all bad. KP broken. No return for you, mister. Boundless Strike also will hit the Warlock. A little bit of gush damage. Warlock Golem a little bit late there. Paparazzi even has an Aegis, so they'll just clean up the Golem. Free gold for the Slark. And now Newbee are down one of their biggest tools. With still a Ravage on board, if SC does not BKB that Ravage, that is going to be an absolute disaster. Here he comes, Ravage, and he doesn't BKB the Ravage. They're going to work him down. They're going to blast him with the Laguna Blade, and that's a very easy kill. Off to the south, it's going to be a 3-man Boundless Strike with Paparazzi jumping in for Kaka. They'll take him down, and now it's U9. The Timber Saw is going to get worked on Paparazzi and Skada both. Freezing Field in the back just for Super to celebrate. Paparazzi going to leap in towards Faith. He just wants to get back to his fountain. That's all he wants, but I don't know if the Slark is going to let him. He is going to go into the Shadow Dance. He's not going to go into the fountain because he's baller, but he's not that baller. He has an Aegis. He doesn't really care if he dies once. The rest of the team in the meantime, cracking Raxes. This is bottom lane in its entirety, taken with still 30 seconds with no SF to worry about. That means damage onto the tier 3 over and mid. Not sure if they have quite enough to take it down. Again, killing off structures is not really what iG.V do best. They will patrol around with Paparazzi though, looking for a free kill. I think he might have found one. KP's gonna land a stomp, but it'll be packed out immediately. Tower will fall. Still 13 seconds for the Shadow Fiend. KP may be able to stall this one, but gets hit with the LSA. Gush minus armor, and look at the right-click damage from the Lina. Oh my god. U9 has arrived. Chakram flying wide though. KP gonna get hit with the Laguna. Still not dead just yet. Couple more right clicks. Dragon Slave still alive. But the Raxes will fall. U9 also will die. 50 seconds. He's down. Shadow Fiend is back, but his allies are kind of crumbling. Paparazzi gonna get a bash, canceling the Requiem. Looking for another. Cancels it again. Shrine is keeping SC alive, but Paparazzi stealing a lot of stats here. Gonna go into the Shadow Dance. Dive the fountain for the Shadow Fiend. It's worth it if you can find it. He's gonna find the Warlock instead. Roll. Going really wide from Kaka. Now hit with the pounce. He's gonna go down. This is obviously GG, as Faith is gonna call it. We have in July just gonna chill next to SC. Nice Requiem, bro. I got a pipe. He's still alive even after taking fountain shots. Jeez. iG.V just finding a couple of nice opportunities there over Newbee. Newbee running this little bit of a curveball draft with their last pick, Timbersaw. I don't think the idea of Timbersaw is bad, but I think the ordering of Timbersaw and then kind of having this off is just really awkward on their lanes. But guys, iG.V will tie it up, and that is going to be the end of today's stream, the end of the group stages of DPL. I'm Mike Loris. It's been a pleasure casting all of these games for you guys. I am exhausted. I'm going to get some, I guess, lunch. I'll see you guys some other time for some more good Dota. If you guys enjoyed the stream, be sure to keep up with DPL because they're going to the playoffs next. Should be tomorrow? April 14th is tomorrow, right? Yeah, it is tomorrow. So it should be tomorrow. And wait, what is this? DPL. Newbee versus LGD. Hold on, let me just pull up the thing again. Well, iG.V and Newbee, they're done. This is going to be a tie-breaking match? Is there a tiebreaker right now? There might be another game, guys. Hold on. I thought I was done, but just when you think you're done, they pull you back in. Well, this series is done at any rate. If you guys enjoyed, hit me up on Twitter at Mike Loris, and I'll be right back in maybe a little bit, maybe around 24 hours. Who knows?